As per the recent budget, what is the impact of capital gains on taxation and investments? Can you start by telling us about taxation on debt funds?
So I'm going to be speaking about the budget taxation on investments, which was just held on 23rd of July this year. I'll be covering the tax component on debt mutual funds, equity mutual funds, and gold ETF and sovereign gold bonds as well. So let's start with the taxation on capital gains for debt funds. So predominantly, the two broad categories are purchases made before 31st March 23 and purchases made after March 23. In the taxation of capital gains before March 23, the holding period of considering an investment as short-term and long-term was 36 months. So anything which is held for less than 36 months is considered short-term capital gains in debt. Anything which is more than 36 months is considered as long-term capital gains tax in debt. When the investments are sold before 36 months, the short-term capital gains were taxed as per the tax slab, which could be either 20% or 30% depending on the tax slab that you are in. If the investment was sold after 36 months and was purchased before 31st March 23, it's considered as long-term capital gains tax, and the government had given an indexation benefit of 20% with indexation on the gains when you sell the investment. In this budget, the indexation benefit on long-term gains on debt funds has been removed. So how it works in this after March 23, any purchases that are made in debt, again short-term and long-term is as per, there is no real holding period. Entire gains, whether it's short-term or long-term, considering a holding period of 24 months is considered, the gains are taxed as per your tax slab. So let's talk about the impact of capital gains taxation on equity mutual funds after the recent budget of July 24. Earlier, equity mutual funds were divided as short-term and long-term depending on the holding period. Anything that was held for less than 12 months, the capital gains are considered short-term. Anything that is held for more than 12 months, the capital gains taxation is long-term. The holding period has remained the same in the budget. Only thing, the tax rates have changed. So earlier, the taxation on short-term capital gains was at 15% plus surcharge, of course, and now the short-term capital gains tax on equity has increased to 20%. And this is for a period of holding of 12 months or less. Also, when we move to the long-term capital gains, again the period of holding for long-term capital gains in equity is considered as 12 months or more, and the tax earlier was 10% on the gains subject to 1 lakh kind of exemption on the gains that have been made after 1 year. Now this has changed to 12.5% as long-term capital gains with an exemption of 1,25,000 as long-term capital gains component. So these were the tax changes in the budget of July 24 on equity. So now we're going to be talking about the impact of capital gains taxation on gold ETFs, sovereign gold bonds, and gold mutual funds. Again, this is a bit complicated. It's dependent on purchases that were made before 31st March 23 and purchases that were made after 31st March 23. Before any purchases were made before 31st March 23, the period of holding for short-term and long-term in the category of gold was 36 months. Therefore, any investments that were held for less than 36 months were considered short-term. Any investments that were held for more than 36 months were considered as long-term. Pretty much the same as the debt taxation. Short-term capital gains on gold purchased before 31st March 23 were taxed as per the tax slab rate, and long-term capital gains were given the benefit of 20% with indexation benefits. Now the scene has changed a bit. Short-term and long-term is categorized as 24 months. And this is where the boost comes. Any long-term capital gains on sale of gold ETFs, gold mutual funds, and even multi-asset funds are considered at only 12.5% as tax on the capital gains made, with a holding period of 24 months. Anything before that is considered as short-term capital gains and is taxed as per your tax slab. Therefore, in the recent budget, a big boost has been given to these category of mutual funds. I would suggest that people who have not got allocation towards gold and multi-asset consider an asset allocation of at least 5 to 15% depending on their goals, time horizon and investment objectives. So these were the new guidelines as per the budget of July 24, which just happened.